Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the Apex Legends Shockwave patch notes, which is really interesting because I've actually already played early access. I know Ty hasn't, but in the future, I guarantee that Ty definitely should. So we got two different perspectives here. But the cool part as well is I get to find out what I was wrong about. Essentially, we always get thrown into this and then we just figure out what was right and what was wrong. And now we get all the fun, nitty-gritty details. So Ty, how are you doing today, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm excited for this new season.
Me too. I'm ready to jump right in. Let's have more energy, more action. So let's talk about the new E-District map. From your perspective, looking on the outside, how do you feel about this new map? What are your thoughts on it?
So my first look and some of the footage that the devs shared of this map is there is something going on everywhere on this map. It doesn't look like a lot of open space. It's hard to judge the actual size of it. It looks like it's maybe the same size as World's Edge, but you don't see all these open areas and fields and cliffs that you're running through. Every part seems like it has something going on, whether it's stairways, whether it's buildings, whether it's, different levels of height. Like every spot seems busy and it does look beautiful. I will say, like, the colors are going to pop. It's going to be really cool to play on this map.
Yeah, so my perspective is that, yeah, I would agree with that. I would say maybe the concern is some of the end zones. Let me see if I can find them. The apartment complexes are like from Lotus. Let's see here. The Lotus, like, it's got multiple layers, like 4 layers to it. For end zones and comp is my only concern. Other than that, I think that the map just feel really lived in, and I don't know how much. I think from a casual perspective, it's going to be an amazing map and a lot of fun. I just don't know for comp, but it does have a lot of cover. I mean, just looking at the map, you can see it has a lot of cover. You can check some of that gameplay, by the way. I know Ross played it. It's already live on the channel, so check out his content here. We're not going to cover everything in E-District and kind of obsess about it because we got a lot of nitty-gritty details to cover, such as, I mean, the map rotation. I mean, they said they're going to put E-District as like the biggest thing for pubs and ranks. So we got Broken Moon, E-District, and Storm Point. Some pretty big maps. Some of two ones that are recently changed, and I got nothing against that. That's a good. Sounds like a good rotation to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us really enjoy Storm Point for pubs. Broken Moon with the improvements has gotten better. E-District, I think, will be an interesting pubs map. Like I said, it looks like there's a lot of area for a lot of action to go down. It'll be interesting to see how the game pace plays out in pubs and ranked. But I'm excited for this map rotation. I think it's refreshing.
Agreed. Here's some interesting ones. Controller and Recon class perks. So essentially what they've done is they have new class perks. So for Controller Legends, they have Zone Overcharge. Now have extra shield capacity when playing in Zone. The Zone automatically grants Overcharge of 25 HP shield capacity. Now if somebody plays Catalyst, how does that sound?
I mean, I like it. For me, that's great. I land in zone, that first circle pops up and I'm in there. I haven't hit any Evo Harvesters. I haven't had my teammates hit any of their support bins or assault bins, and I already got the extra shield, so I'm loving that. It lets me get into the action right away.
Now, the downside is that this overcharge is lost when you leave the zone. There's a 5-second delay. And you can't, I know a lot of people ask the question, when you get to red, it doesn't overcharge red either.
Okay, yeah, that's one thing I was worried about, because if you had somebody like Caustic that was fortified, plus, red shield, if he got an additional 25 on top of that, he'd be absolutely broken. So it's good to see that they capped that at the red.
Yeah, exactly. My concern is, like, let's say you're chasing somebody down, and then they go to zone. It says a player enters the zone at full shields, the overcharge will fill automatically. Does that mean, like, instantly, like, slow charge? Or does that mean, like, instantly, like, boom, you got 25 more HP?
Yeah, because you could be chasing somebody thinking they're, low on health, and then the second they hit there, they got an additional 25. It's like a conduit tactical. And yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be like a slow recharge that happens immediately, or if it's like the second you hit that zone, you got it.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So also, new quality of life change here. We got remote pickup for Controller Legends, can now remotely pick up their undamaged tacticals. Can't be damaged and people can't be near them. So if somebody's on top of it, such as like the Catalyst charge is picked up, like an enemy or somebody's behind your Rampart wall, you can't bamboozle them and remove the wall. But as long as they're not being in use or an enemy isn't near them, you can pick them up. So
I like that change. I'm cool with that change. I think that's, pretty. I'm surprised it wasn't implemented earlier, honestly. Like, it's cool that they're adding it now. I think it's a pretty easy change.
I have to say, after playing Rumble this weekend, where it was W key meta, did you play Rumble at all?
I did not, no.
I played it, and my gosh, it was the most W key meta ever, because damage early first round mattered, and like damage in general was important, so was kills. And I really felt like Controller Legends, nobody played End Zone. It just seemed like it was just W key meta. So I'm excited to see that Controller Legends are getting some love to maybe slow down the fights a little bit. When I say slow down, I mean have it just be a little bit smarter, you know, rather than just people dogpiling nonstop, you know. I don't want Controller Legends to be unbreachable, but my gosh, you know.
Well, I mean, based on these changes with these Controller Legends, they definitely seem like they will be seeing more of them in the meta.
Hopefully. I mean, even for just casuals, it'd be interesting to see comp mirror what casuals are doing, you know.
Right.
Okay, new class Recon, new class perk, threat version. Now gain whenever you ADS down sights. They highlight kind of like a bloodhound, but it does not work through walls or smoke. It's limited in range by the type of scope or zoom range of an ability. How do you feel about that?
It's interesting. I thought that this was going to be something that was standard across the board, not just for Recon class. So based off this, it looks like Controller Legends and Recon Legends are definitely getting a buff. I think this is significant.
Oh, you know, I'm going to interrupt you there because there is a difference between these two. Battle Sense is different from Threat Vision. Threat Vision is just a red outline.
Oh, okay.
And then Battle Sense shows the health bars. So that is very confusing. I'm glad that you brought that up. So everybody who's listening, those are two different things. So let's say I know I played Vantage. The vision around a target that looks like you have digital threat. That's pretty much what it is. Just digital threat is on a target. Now for the health bars, we're going to cover that later in the patch notes, but those are two different things. Now that you know that, how do you feel about that, Ty?
So I think it's good. I like hearing this because I think in some ways this is also an additional, very, very subtle nerf to aim assist because it will help tracking on M&K. Like if your target is highlighted, you know, it's more visible. We know there's a lot of visual clutter in Apex, so maybe in some ways this is a very subtle nerf to aim assist, maybe a little buff to M&K so you can track a little easier. I don't see a problem with it. I think it's interesting to see how the health bar for the battle vision will work. I think, you know, that popping up on screen, does it add to the visual clutter? Is it very distracting? Is it helpful? It'll be interesting to see how we adapt to that.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely an M&K buff. Here's one that got a nerf though, survey beacons. So survey beacons went from 7.5 to 3 seconds, so they're faster to use. I mean, that is the buff, but the downside is it doesn't scan the entire map anymore. It's only 500 meters, and you don't get as much Evo. It was 200, now it's 75. But it pulses every 15 seconds to give you a snapshot if they're running towards you, if they're running away. So a lot of give and take here. There was a nerf and there was a buff, so I guess I can't call it completely. Just call it a rework. This was interesting because I love the pulsing, so I was able to tell, like, wait a minute, they're running towards us, get ready, or I wasn't able to tell before. So this is a interesting change. It makes it more tactical and interesting change overall. What do you think?
So it's an interesting change for sure. So I think that, you know, it's definitely more tactical now. You're not scanning the whole map and using a survey beacon to plan your rotation, saying like, okay, there's no one here, we need to rotate this way. This is more of like, okay, we see what's around us and we see it pulsing over 15 seconds. So we know their movements. We know people move fast in Apex. So when you scan them originally, you get a snapshot in time. By the time you're like moving, and that team could be at a totally different POI using a Valcod or jump pads or zip lines. So seeing that pulse is definitely a buff. But I will say this looks like, you know, it's definitely more tactical and more condensed area. So I don't think it helps with rotations as much. So in my opinion, it looks like a little bit of a buff for Controller Legends. It makes the ring console information that more valuable.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but that's true because you would say, I'm going to avoid the whole south side of the map because nobody's there. I want to go fight, or vice versa. Because that honestly was kind of used for rotation. You're right, for rotational information. And
I will say so cutting back on the Evo for it from 200 to 75, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Another thing, like, you know, usually when you land, you're like, okay, let me hit my bins, let me hit ring console or survey beacon so I can get this blue Evo super fast. You know, changing it from 200 to 75, that's huge.
Yeah, I agree. That's because you would actually, it would help in your rotation to keep going from survey beacon to survey beacon. And while it still kind of does, and it is a lot faster to hit, you don't really know what you're getting yourself into except for the fight nearby. really it. It's about the fight nearby rather than seeing everything and being able to rotate safely. So ring console, the importance of ring consoles, man. You brought up some good points. I like it. Now, stat trackers, we made a huge quality of life upgrade to stat trackers. They're separating out the stat and the art. You'd be able to separate these on your legend banner separately. Wow, that's interesting. The art on your trackers also been made universal. Wow, interesting. That's kind of neat. I didn't know they were gonna do that. That's kind of cool. You know, especially if you see like one that was like, oh, that's a cool art, but it was like specific for something in general. I don't know, but that's a nice quality of life change.
Yeah, as someone that hosts a lot of custom tournaments and custom games in general, I'm always getting asked to like rate my banner. So this is a cool little change. People can, you know, make them flashy. They can get the drip on their banners, if you want to say that. But yeah, I mean, this is a step in the right direction towards some of the customization that we've been asking for.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to mess with this too, to be honest. Battle Pass controversy. Warning, controversy. Warning. So they reverted this.
Right.
Yeah, so for summary, updated Battle Pass, we already heard about that. At least you can use Apex coins, everybody. Now they have some, with the launch of Season 22, they're going to give you the opportunity to get the premium Battle Pass. You can unlock it by completing, you can get it for free. Wow. Right. Play 2 matches in trios, deal 1,000 damage to Recon, open 15 supply bins, deal 500 damage in BR, complete 10 levels of Battle Pass. Starting with Split 2 on September 17th, you can get the premium Battle Passes the same way as before. I guess you have to do these challenges.
Right.
I don't think,
can
you not purchase it the first split here?
That's what it looks like.
Wait a minute.
It looks like you can't use your coins to buy it at first.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's about a little over a month where you have to do these challenges to unlock it, which these challenges are really simple. So it's nothing too crazy. You should be able to get that very quickly. You know, it's good that they reverted the change. You definitely should be able to use those Apex coins to buy it. So,
well, okay, hold on. What if I'm a sound I'm tenfold a hat and controversial. What if they always meant for it to be free by just these challenges and they bamboozled us into wanting to pay with Apex coins?
I wouldn't put it past them. We'll see though.
What if they never communicated? Because why is it free? Is this just because they're trying to delay the process of getting it for free, or like, you know what I mean? Am I?
That is interesting.
Am I reaching here? Like, I don't know.
No, I think what you're saying is valid. It's a good point.
But hey, at least it's there. That's a cool screenshot there. Now, balance changes. Balance. Evo 8 returns to the floor. The blast pattern slightly increased. Damage was increased to 7. Was 6. The fire rate decreased. Changes. They added the boosted loader to it and slightly increased the recoil. EVA 8. Are you picking it up? I never picked this gun up, even in the care package.
No, now that it's back on the floor, it's an afterthought. It was nice in the care package, but there's better shotguns, because you got to think, you got PK and Mastiff that got changes, and you also have the Mozambique, which you can now dual wield. So the EVA 8 is an afterthought of a shotgun.
Yeah, I agree. R99 goes in with the ADS strafe speed increase, improved recoil. New feature, damage fall off. Damage increased to 14 at close range, falls off at long range. For a care package weapon, why would you even have fall off damage?
Yeah, care package weapons are supposed to be strong, so it's interesting that they're doing that. I mean, 11 meters isn't really that far of a range either, so
yeah, like that has to be right in your face. Like, also, this is weird, no movement penalty when equipped.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's interesting.
Is that like running around like Mad Maggie?
That might be. I mean, look, if you're going to put a weapon in the care package, just put it in the care package, make it buffed. Like, it's not like everyone's going to be running it. You know, movement penalty, that'll be interesting. The damage fall off, I don't think is necessary, but yeah, R99 enjoyers, rejoice.
And look at this, Evo cash spawn rate is also increased to 100%. It was 50.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't know that it was a 50-50. I just thought that the first round I just got unlucky. Like, it's just, I didn't even think it was going to ever spawn, so I never really went for it at the start, but I guess it's interesting. Gold weapon rotations, the Akimbo for both P2020, Mozambique, R301, Rampage, and Sentinel.
So my question with the gold weapon rotation, so you have the Mozam and the P2020 Akimbos. Those are going to be gold. Do they both get hammer points?
Yeah.
Wow.
They both get hammer points. You were right. Yeah.
That's going to be crazy. Dual wielding P2020s or Mozam with the hammer points. That's dangerous.
Now here's also what's crazy. Aim assist. So console lobbies into PC lobbies, aim assist strength reduced to 18%. Or reduced by 18%. Console performance mode into PC lobbies, aim assist reduced by 22%. And if you're a controller on PC, aim assist strength reduced by 25%. So console lobbies inherently have more aim assist, but is getting reduced. And if you're a controller player on PC, aim assist reduces even heavier. So what they said is they value the accessibility of cross-platform as a game, but it's equally important as to monitor ecosystem. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Aim assist is too strong. That's actually written here. Aim assist will never be removed as a critical accessibility feature. Console lobbies remain unaffected. It only impacts players on controller and PC lobbies. Got to add the S there. Our most competitive ecosystem. This change doesn't solve. Wow, they're even like, wow, they kind of just said right there it's the most competitive ecosystem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's kind of a slight. Like if you have Pred on console, you trying to is Respawn like throwing shade here? Like.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, I would agree with that. I definitely think PC lobbies are superior.
Yeah, that's interesting. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about the change?
I mean, we've been complaining about aim assist for quite some time now. It's interesting that they went ahead and nerfed it. Obviously, you know, console crossplay into PC, console performance. I think that's when they get the 120 frames. So it's all different levels, right? So it's not like a consistent, you know, universal nerf across the board. My question is it going to be that noticeable? We don't really know. You know, people are still going to have aim assist, so how much of a difference will it make? Only playing will tell. But one thing that I've been kind of, you know, saying for some time now is, like, if you get an M&K aim assist nerf, so I know people are like, oh, there's no aim assist on M&K. I get that. But Halo, if you look at a game like Halo, there is a very, very, very subtle aim assist, like assistance on M&K that I would like to see implemented on Apex. I don't think it'll ever come. Perhaps they need a new engine or something like that. But I don't know if this nerf is going to be enough. It'll be interesting to see.
Agreed. Aim flinch. This is actually a nerf for sure. I mean, well, yeah, to having to deal with aim flinch. I guess buff for us, nerf for I don't know who. So let's read what they said. They said, let's be honest, no one had love for aim flinch. If you don't know what we're talking about here, it's when you refresh and then you get hit by any sort of damage, your recoil spikes up and your screen shakes wildly. So they made the call to remove it. However, there are some legend abilities that do benefit from the added feedback, like Newcastle ult, and they're going to keep an eye on that, I guess, punch when they kick somebody up in the air. I assume like Gibraltar ult, or like explosions might still do, like shake your screen a little. Damage from the ring still occurs. I just think this is a good change. I got nothing else to add.
I think it is too. No, yeah, M&K players, nobody liked that. It was so distracting. It added to the visual clutter. It was, yeah, I'm glad that's gone. Goodbye, good riddance.
So the bins in the next one here are, they re-roll their loot midway through. So I guess midway through you get like this notification that all bins are going to revert and like you'll have more loot. But they reduce the spawn rate of purple and gold attachments by 50%. Ooh. Wow. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess you get more chances, so maybe that's the reason. And they have new bins such as a Mythic bin that has a care package weapon, and they also have gold bins, which give you more attachments. Maybe that's to balance that out? So
yeah, that's really interesting.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Because I know I got to experience some of this in the loot pool. I didn't notice it when I first playing. Maybe it's because there's so much loot in the ground?
Yeah, I mean, with a map like E-District, it looks like there's a lot of POIs, a lot of action, so maybe the amount of loot kind of compensates for that. But Daz, I'm going to be honest with you. My first reaction to this, the first thing that popped into my mind is Loba is going to be valuable.
Oh, yeah.
Not so with these loot bins resetting, you go from POI, ring to ring, and she's going to be able to pop that down and get better, you know, loot. And with her perks, she can grab three things. So if you get these mythic bins and stuff like that, Loba becomes a little bit more valuable. And
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and I think there's a UI interface. Like, I think they've reworked it a little bit.
They did.
Her alt might look a little different. It might be easier to loot some things that you need. So potential little Loba buff here.
Interesting. Okay, you know, I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. Before with Loba, when you ran into a POI, you kind of knew if somebody went through there, though.
Right. That's a good point.
But you were right. If you throw, like, towards the end game especially, towards that zone 2 and you want even more loot for your team, you throw down that ult, your team is going to come out stacked. And this reduction of spawn rate of gold and purple attachments, Loba can find them.
Exactly.
Wow, I didn't think about that. That's really interesting.
So, I will say, from what my understanding is, the mythic bins do take a little longer to open up.
Yeah, they take like 10, 12 seconds.
I wonder if that is applied to her ult as well. Like if you have to like hold down on the item longer, or if it's going to alert people, similar to like when you rob something from an armor hold or a vault. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a buff if she can go zone to zone and the loot bins reset and you can throw down your ult and potentially get some of these mythic bins.
Man, Loba's always going to be kitted.
Love it.
That's actually crazy. I did not consider that whatsoever. Because I kind of think like, oh, Loba's not getting buffed or anything like that. No, like accidentally, you know, this is a lot of power. Even for Alter, technically, with everyone looting so much, you would technically have more options in the loot boxes to find more. You know?
Exactly.
Interesting. All right. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, there it is. Oh wait,
there it is.
Reorganization even says in Loba's market, healing items now have a dedicated row. Shield cores have been moved to the top of the category. Interesting. That makes it easier to swapping for the most important items. More important items at the top.
It's a great change. I love that. That's super subtle, but very effective. I like that.
Yeah, look at this person crushing a Sentinel Nemesis. It's crazy.
Right.
Traversal. Mantling at the same time as a teammate no longer forces players to drop. Thank you.
W. Oh my God, that is great. Yes. See, another subtle change that just makes us happy because, like, I know, guys, if you're watching, I know you've experienced this way more than you can count. It was so frustrating. You would do it like multiple times too. You don't just fall once. You're like, oh, I'm going to climb again because maybe I climbed the wrong way, and then you fall again. So this being gone from the game, great. Hats off to the devs for that.
I agree. I got nothing else to say about that. I agree. All right, better ammo awareness and feedback. So we see critical ammo state will now kick on when a player has 0 relevant ammo in their inventory. On-screen low ammo indicators allow for more opportunity to find ammo. Okay, what? On-screen low kick on earlier. Well, okay, it's just letting us know about ammo. Indicator now displays the icon of ammo type. Pinging for ammo now displays the ammo icon in the kill feed. Okay, when emptying ammo, this is a lot of ammo stuff. I didn't even notice any of this. So it just lets you know more so?
I mean, how necessary is this? Because, like, I know when I'm running low on ammo, and I know when I'm out of ammo, too. So, like, how necessary is this change?
I guess it's for casuals, I guess? Yeah, like, I don't really know. I'm kind of at a loss, too. I'm like... I
don't think it's a bad change. It's an improvement, even though I don't think it's, really necessary or groundbreaking. I mean, it's an improvement. It's not like it's making the situation worse.
Yeah, hey, people benefit from it. Awesome. Enemy health bars. This one is definitely controversial for people. So this is the separation we're talking about. When damaging an enemy, you see their health bar, but it's only active for a brief second, and it doesn't happen, and it does require a direct line of sight, meaning that if they go into smoke, they go behind cover, and then after you stop dealing damage, it just disappears.
Well, now my teammates can call me out when I'm lying when I say they're one shot.
True.
Now we'll be able to see it. But
oh, look right here. Look, it says both enemy health bars and enemy highlights can be toggled on and off. Ooh. Okay. So people complain they don't like it. Listen, I think it's an MNK buff. I think it's a buff to MNK. I would leave it on.
Yeah, I think you track so much easier when you can see that health bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... I didn't think they would allow you to turn that on and off. I thought it was something that was here and we would have to deal with it until, they tweaked it or removed it altogether. But knowing that you can turn it on and off, you don't really have a reason to complain about it. If you don't like it, turn it off.
I mean, to be honest, I would leave it on.
Yeah, it's intel. Yeah, any bit of intel you can get in a game helps your team.
So, like, if anybody turns it off, like, it just kind of feels like... One, this is the reason I would turn it on. It helps for the viewer to understand how much damage you did and who you're fighting, so they can see too. And even for me, I'm going to be able to see better. So if I turn it off, all I'm doing is just impacting my performance. I don't see a reason why you would turn this off.
Yeah, I don't know, unless it's like very, very distracting, and I don't know. Like, there's obviously going to be special scenarios, and like maybe if they're overlapped, like if a team is huddled together, like does it cause too much visual clutter if like all the health bars are overlapped? Like how long do they stay up? How quick do they go away? We'll see, but I think it's something that you should keep on.
Yeah, I agree, because also says enemy highlights, so there's a highlight around them too. I just think this is a great visual change. I am in agreement with you. This is just good. Yeah. Ammo attachments. So they changed it. So light ammo has higher stacks, energy has less stacks, and shotgun carries more as well. They reduce the individual spawn rate of energy. They slightly increase to individual spawn rate of light and heavy, and they increase the individual spawn rate of shotgun and sniper. So a reduction in energy ammo, which also buffs Loba in a way, like you were saying. Now you got me in the mindset thinking of Loba here, you know, other legends and stuff.
Well, you know, I don't think 6, like the stack being decreased from 60 to 54, I don't think that's like huge. But I will say, you know, assault characters, assault legends, they didn't get much attention in this update. This, you know, the light ammo stack, the shotgun stack, like these help them because they're already able to carry more ammo anyway. So
and
now
they can carry even more on top of it.
They're going to carry even more now. So a little subtle buff for the assault legends that don't really get too much love. Not that they need it, but I think the energy stack, that's just to combat the energy weapon meta. You got the Volt, you got the triple take, you got the Nemesis, you got the Havoc. Something had to be done, and I think this is some kind of change to address that.
Interesting, yeah. Now, hop-ups. Here's a new one. This is the gun shield generator. It absorbs 40 damage, and Gibraltar's increased to 75 because it does stack. It recharges after 12 seconds after taking damage or breaking, and the aim down sights automatically deploy a frontal gun shield. So the Devotion automatically has this, by the way. Whenever you pull it out of the care package, it can attach to the L-Star, Rampage, and Spitfire. This is crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
This is
LMGs.
strong.
Will they be in the meta now? I don't know if they're good enough to do that, but I mean, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be annoying going up against someone like Gibby that's already fortified, got the gun shield. Oh my gosh. Like, oh, he's going to be a tank. It's like a bigger Revenant, basically. He's beefy, man.
That's actually really interesting. Oh man, because I don't pick up LMGs.
Right.
I don't know if this will make me want to, but it is strong. I
mean, if you do pick it up, you might as well look for that hop-up because, you know, more health never hurts.
True. So dual P2020 Mozambique is up next. The Aiming Titan ups hipfire. It's an alternating rate of fire. Attachments are mirrored across both weapons. They increase the rate of fire. They did have longer reload times, and they toggle select fire to holster your second weapon and re-enable your optic. I didn't know that. Wow. So I didn't know you could do that. That's actually interesting. Huh. Interesting.
So, yeah, that's interesting. So when you pick up duels, are you still able to pick up another weapon?
Yes.
Okay, so that's cool. I don't understand why they increased the magazine size.
You burn through ammo very, very quickly. A lot.
Okay.
Like your ammo just burns through like before you know it.
Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, you're going to see people running around with these things, especially if they have hammer points. These things are going to be diabolical. Deadly. Yeah.
Speaking of LMG, they actually put another buff here. I didn't know about this either. They benefit the reverse hipfire mechanic found in the care package. Does this make you want to pick it up even more? Let's say like your Spitfire close range, the more you keep shooting, the more accurate you are.
That's scary. I don't, you know, Spitfire, yeah. I don't think I would never pick up the Rampage. So
the Rampage hipfire sucks.
Yeah, so I mean, this is gonna be interesting, man. This is gonna change the weapon meta quite a bit. Yeah, if you have a Spitfire and you have gold mag on that thing, and you're just jumping up close and get that tight care package devotion hipfire spread. Oh man, that's beefy.
Yeah, that's frightening. Next up is the Alternator. Magazine size changes, so they buffed it by 1 bullet. The CAR SMG was also buffed by 1 bullet. So SMG is getting a little love here.
Okay, yeah.
Devotion.
Rightfully so.
Empty reload speed decreased. Gun shield, we had mentioned, was added. The hipfire improved. Shots needed max hipfire reduced to 14 was 21.
Jesus.
Wow, I didn't know it was that brutal.
But see, that's the thing. Like they tweak that Devo. The Devo was already crazy in the care package. They tweak it, make it better, but then they put something like the R9 in the care package, and they're like, well, wait, we're gonna add damage drop off. Like if you're putting a gun in the care package, just make it crazy. That's what they're doing with the Devo, apparently.
Yeah, and they're trying to like nerf the Flatline here by a bullet, and they reduce the hip fire on the Havoc, which
But this makes no sense to me because if you look at these magazine changes for the Flatline,
Yeah.
20 down to 19, 25 down to 23, 28 to 27, 30 to 29. Why is white down by 2 bullets, but everything else is 1?
Yeah.
And like, does a 1 bullet really change anything? Like, I don't know. This is an interesting change for me.
I feel the same way. In Hipfire on the Havoc, I mean, I was using it still, and it still feels. They say it's significantly reduced. Bro, that gun still felt crazy.
Yeah, I still think that they're trying to figure out what to do with the Havoc, right? I think that they have to buff some of these other guns to maybe bring it up to par with the Havoc, or they have to address the Havoc's damage. It's not necessarily the hipfire, because people are still going to be able to, hipfire. It's not the magazine size, which they already addressed. It is the damage output on this gun. So I think the Havoc is still going to be relevant.
Yeah, I agree. Hemlock. Speaking of burst meta here, they said Havoc and Hemlock have been overperforming, which I'm surprised they didn't look at the Nemesis because it's also just as crazy.
Right.
The damage reduced by 1, but they reduced a whole burst outside of purple mag, which is weird. So like the same thought you were thinking, right? So white and blue were reduced by 3, but then they left the gold and purple unchanged.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So you once you get gold and purple, you're kind of back to where you're at, but like, why?
Yeah. Damage reduction going down, the burst delay, that's what's huge with the Hemlock, right? Like
Yeah.
the burst, if that delay is increased again, like you're definitely going to run the Nemesis. Once that Nemesis gets ramped up, you're beaming people. So I don't really see a reason to pick up the Hemlock now.
I agree. P2020 was buffed. Even just regular cross hammer point was decreased though, but their initial damage was increased to 21. It was 18.
Well, that's great considering that's all I find when I drop. So
yeah, and then the hammer point damage for full blast was 54, or is now 54. Okay. Was 60. Rate of fire significantly increased on the Mozambique, and the shotgun bolt rate of fire multiplier decreased at all levels. And speaking of shotgun meta, we're going to try to showcase both these on screen. So they reduced the number of pellets, but they increased the damage. So they reduced like 2 pellets across the board, and they increased the damage by 2 points to compensate. So you have like a new pattern that is tighter. And even with the Peacekeeper, their goal that they had even mentioned in the presentation was that they wanted to have the guns feel more consistent. Okay. It's kind of interesting because these are like the Peacekeeper's pattern was iconic, but technically that is what caused such a massive drop off in damage, to be fair. Because
I mean,
bullets would randomly hit, like random spots.
More consistent, that's a buff. So again, Peacekeeper, Mastiff, Mozams, they're all relevant. The EVA 8 is not.
Yeah. Next up, R301 now has a buff to its mag. Wow. Interesting.
That was needed. Yeah. That was needed. It's not as strong as the other ARs. Increase the mag size. I like that change.
RE45 also buffed across the board. It's a good healthy change. They added more bullets. 2 for base, 1 for white, 1 for blue, and 1 for purple and gold. They also Rampage increased projectile size when revved up. Interesting. We've already covered the class changes and perks. Alter. I didn't realize so many changes happen to Alter. So their channel time when knocked was now decreased to 2 seconds instead of 3. The chase portal is now decreased to 8 seconds, so they only have so much time to come through. The chase portal opening delay increased to 8 seconds. It was 6. Increased travel time, travel speed by 40%. It was 1,800, so it's going to be faster. Ult cooldown reduced to 3 minutes, so now you actually have that perk baked in. Now, the interesting thing is when you're knocked, you're most vulnerable, and so they wanted to taking time to locate an object in the world, and they wanted to reduce that time. Removed option to press character action destroy your void nexus. You can't destroy it. Why? That's strange. Okay, whatever. But they also changed the perk on the left, which now changes to Ringmasters to hit zone. Alter's great. Very hard legend to use. I made a master guide on her. I'm just going to put it out there. She's a lot of fun, but very hard to master. Very difficult. I think her tactical needs even more accessibility for it to really pop, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I was wrong about Ballistic's nerf or buff, but all they did was change the whistler to 0.1 second instead of 0.3. Sometimes I wish they would tell this us in the presentation, because how are you supposed to tell the difference between 0.3 and 0.1, man?
You're not. Ballistic is still the worst legend in the game. They gotta do something.
Agreed. Hey, look, Caustic barrels changed. They didn't even list it here. It's all they showed is an image. There's just a picture. They didn't even put a note here. It's just like, here, look, picture. No explanation. Doesn't even say Caustic or anything. Just like picture.
Yeah. If you're scrolling, you're not even gonna see that. You're like, yeah.
You're gonna be like, what does that mean? You know. Crypto got a buff across the board. Cooldown decreased to 30 seconds. It was 40. Now off the grid. You go invisible as Crypto, which is crazy. Threat vision related skills will not reveal Crypto. Improved satellite imagery. Ult now scans anyone it hits for 4 seconds and will track their walls. Ping removed. Improved handling now integrated to base kit. Wow, like they just, geez, every season Crypto gets a buff, and I think the Respawn's probably asking the question, when is Crypto relevant? What do you think?
Crypto, he's gonna be a menace now. I mean, I still think he's a very hard legend to play, but yeah, Crypto, this is crazy. This is nuts. This man has the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter. This is wild.
Yeah, that's insane. Lifeline, they just removed the Evo cache with a battery.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I always need bats anyway, so.
Sheila, to sum this up, you are now able to charge like a Vantage. That's the best way I can explain this.
Okay.
So you get your Rampart ultimate. Let's say you can start with 44 bullets, and then it just keeps charging as long as you don't have Sheila out.
Okay. Well, all 3 Rampart mains will be happy.
Gaming merchant. Focus of attention and health bars persists for duration of silence. Okay. Wow. That's actually that's cool.
Oh.
Heartbeat sensor passive move speed has been increased to weapon sprint speed. Wow.
Ooh,
passive is now quieter when active. Okay.
Oh, God.
No, I don't like that.
I don't want to see a Seer meta again, but I think based off this, it might be coming. It might be coming.
Yeah, because now you get the extra attack charge. I know it reduces silence by 50%, but having 2 tacticals?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Ooh, that's rough.
And then Vantage, my main, got buffed. You can now hit reload with the ult excel. The right perk also increases the ult excel speed, provides 2 extra bullets. You get the Recon added to all optics. Really? Hold on, all optics? Wow, even like a 1x? Expanding passive scanning screen area to be more consistent? Wow, okay.
Oh my God.
Well, that's crazy.
Look, admittedly, I am the certified Vantage hater of Apex Legends. I hate this character. I thought she was totally useless. I think she has a crazy hitbox for someone that's not fortified. I just thought she was a bad legend, but these changes,
yeah,
we might have a Vantage meta.
Listen, it does even more damage.
It brings damage. It brings intel. This is scary. This is scary.
Yeah, the multiplier is now 2.5 on the second shot, which is why you see more damage. Waypoint on ping within passive range will track enemy for 10 seconds.
Jesus. Yeah,
that's insane. Will not show within 100 meters for each ally individually. I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
I never thought we would see a Vantage meta, but
isn't that kind of like a ranged bloodhound?
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to be very valuable.
I need to see that in game now. I played Vantage. I guess I needed to ping more. I didn't realize that. But also your tactical can now launch when LOS is blocked. That's crazy. Tac reticle will turn red when Echo's behind you and you are launching. Will slide around boxes and geometry as best it can to reach Echo. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Wattson had the biggest rework as well in the game. The pylon now recharges shield charge, the power one, regenerates. It regenerates. The current one was removed, and so they changed it. So there's 2 ultimates. You have one on the left that gives you double ult excel speeds and ult placement, but it also has double HP and regenerates. The one on the right doubles ult shield regenerator rate and capacity, and the ult shield regenerator recharges. Oh, they both do double ultimate HP.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wait. Oh, okay. Wait. I'm an idiot. I'm dumb. So this is just what it changed into. So this is level 3. I'm sorry. I'll repeat this again. So one of them changes to double HP. The ult shield regenerate charges, and then it gets the emergency power is the other one that is the opposite. It has the ultimate shield, larger capacity, and then it heals faster. I know that's a mouthful. Just know that they're both separate, and one of them has infinite and the other one has faster is the best way to explain it.
Right. Yeah, it's pick and choose. Do you want the pylon there longer, or do you want it to heal you quicker?
Yeah, because I mean it could stay there forever and just keep charging over and over and over and over and over again, which is crazy.
That's crazy for holding down space. Yeah, that's big, especially since we're seeing an emergence of fuse players. That pylon shutting down those knuckle clusters and all those explosives, that's huge.
I have to say this is the longest patch notes I've ever done because there's so many changes. I've never this is the most changes I've seen in a hot minute besides the perk system, you know.
Yeah, they went to work.
They did. They have Bot Royale. I'll kind of spam run this at the end because these are just modes. Bot Royale Revival is coming. Straight Shot will be here with the new Revival. We won't cover mixtape. These are, you can have this in the link down in the description. Welcome Pass for challenges for new players. Ranked, which is weird because they said that you wouldn't lose RP once you hit 15 placement, but I don't know about that now because like this isn't listed here. Yeah. And they have bug fixes. I'm sure you guys will see this all here. I'm gonna link this down below. This is crazy, dude. I want your closing thoughts, man. What do you? 41 minutes of changes. This was insane.
Closing thoughts. I think there's a lot of changes that are going to change how the game is played. Some are more subtle than others. A lot of changes to legends, a lot of changes to legend classes, and I think it's going to shake up the meta quite a bit. I think the weapon meta might stay the same for the most part. I don't think the Havoc's going to go anywhere just yet, but I think all of these changes mixed with the new map, I think it's enough to bring excitement to the player base.
I agree. I think there's a lot here. As long as they listen, please respawn, focus on anti-cheat, continue this love on the bug fixes and stuff. You know, get rid of the Chrono Zens, get rid of those strike pack users, do something about it, teaming, all that stuff. That's my closing thoughts, is that, you know, this game, as much as they're trying to also make sure casuals have a good time with like new player experience and like bot royale and all that stuff, I mean, it's a very competitive game. And so the anti-cheat is just as important.
Yeah, agreed. They got stuff to work on, but we know they're behind the scenes working on some things, and they're going to continue to try and improve the game.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for being able to come in, give all your thoughts and feedback as well. It opened my mind to some things that I wasn't even thinking about, and I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow Ty on his social media platforms. Give him support. Have his link down in the description down below, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.